We are in the midst of a galvanizing event. As difficult and as traumatic as this has been, obviously our city has come together in a really beautiful way. It's been our community members, it's been our city officers and our enterprise more broadly. I just had a meeting moments ago with about 15 CEOs from throughout downtown Minneapolis and beyond. And they are also going to be a big part of this effort and this recovery. We're looking at having some form of galvanizing event where we're bringing people together from 1,000 different backgrounds to celebrate our great city, to bring people into Minneapolis from across the country. And this kind of event is not going to be unique. In fact, I think we're going to have a series of these put on by a number of different organizations that celebrate the kind of pride and the inspiration that has been exhibited during the hardest of times. With that, I'll open it to any questions you might have.
Mayor, these are huge numbers you're talking about. Do you have confidence that you can get the aid you need from the state and the feds and not raise property taxes in the city?
The total figure that we're talking about is $203 million. The direct impact to our city enterprise has been approximately $6 million. It's incumbent on us just to give people the reality of the damage that people in our city are experiencing. And look, I'm not too naive to think that we're going to go to the state and the federal legislatures and get the entire amount. That being said, we're going to be putting together a package through our intergovernmental relations team that we feel is both reasonable and can be met. And so we're going to be moving through those numbers in the near future.
Is there enough money to do things at the city level? There's been the $1 million in rental assistance, the $5 million small business relief package proposed. Is there money to do city level relief like that, or given the $12 million number that we could be looking at, is there no more discretionary fund for stuff like that?
So the question is there discretionary money to do these additional packages that has been put together? The answer is no. There is not free money right now. Every dollar that is spent has an impact. There's no magic pot that we can tap that does not have an impact on property taxes or other essential city services. Money goes out the door, it means that we have to make some form of cut or drawback internally. So there are instances, and we felt this was the case with the emergency rental assistance, where it's necessary and it's worth it, where both we have the ability to provide some additional funds and there were cuts that could be made, and we had the ability to actually implement a program. That's another key part. There will be instances where it just doesn't make sense, and so we're going to be exploring each one issue by issue.
Do you then support the $5 million being transferred from the Downtown Assets Fund to a small business fund that's being proposed?
Yeah, we're still exploring that right now. Obviously, we heard about the proposal coming from council members. What I will reiterate is that there isn't just free money. Yes?
The federal government,
I'll get you next, I promise.
Was behind, Operation Metro Surge. How optimistic or how willing do you think they will be to help with the cost of the recovery?
Yeah, the question was, how willing do we believe the federal government will be to help with this recovery? This has been a crisis in Minneapolis. We have set up an emergency response to deal with that crisis. In the past, when Minneapolis or any city throughout the country encounters an emergency, there's partnership, there's participation. 15, 18 years ago, whatever it was, a bridge collapsed in Minneapolis. A federal administration, a Republican federal administration under Bush, came in, left politics at the water's edge, and worked hand in hand with then Mayor Rybeck and with our governor to make sure that funds were delivered in short form, to make sure that Minneapolis had the necessary tools to recover from that emergency. This has been an emergency caused by the federal government, and so it's all the more important that they also participate in the recovery from the damage that they themselves have caused. Yeah. So the question was, based on information that we have, does it look like they are receding yet today? We have not yet had the sit rep that would outline incidents that have taken place. Obviously, we were made aware by the Border Czar Homan that activity through Operation Metro Surge would continue in the coming days prior to the exit of the agents themselves. And we also know that ICE, as an agency, will continue to do work as they did in the past, but not at the same level, not with the same conduct that we saw through Operation Metro Surge. Assistant Chief, do we have an answer as to the drawdown or when the planes literally leave?
Don't have an answer.
We don't. We'll try to get you a better answer to that. No.
I have Brian and Richmond, a lot
Yes.
of businesses and organizations that have been doing rent assistance,
Yeah.
running mutual aid.
Yeah.
At a great loss to their business
Yeah.
finances. Will they be able to apply for any assistance, or how can, I guess, they ask for help from the city government right now?
Well, that's a great question, and the mutual aid organizations that have been set up have done honorable, patriotic work to help people in need through this incredibly difficult time. There are funds, obviously, that are available. I can't speak for the criteria for applications for each one of them. There's $10 million that is going through the state in the form of forgivable loans. There's $1 million that we recently approved in the form of emergency rental assistance. And so, you know, each one of those we're going to have to confront on a piece-by-piece basis. But thank you.
You mentioned the state
I do.
thing.
Rent trust, could you talk about comments from Tom Homan that allude to a deal that may have been made with
Yeah.
local leaders? You know, how do you gain community trust with comments like that, and what's your response to that amid this drawdown?
No. The position that I have had for months is exactly the position that we have as a city today. And that position is the following. We do not enforce federal immigration law, period. We do not cooperate with ICE or any agency around enforcement of federal immigration law, period. We do work with a number of different agencies to keep people safe in our city. And where the impetus, where the underlying issue is crime and safety, we've worked with many administrations, including the present one, to keep people safe. That has been my position, as you all have heard from the very beginning, and that position has not changed. So the notion that there was a deal is false.
We'll do one more question.
Hey, Mayor, you talked about the state assistance. Is that something maybe the city could set up, something like that, a fund for low-interest loans or forgivable loans?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
You know, the state set up their
Oh, sure.
$2 million loan program yesterday.
Right.
It's got to be passed by the legislature.
Yeah.
Could the city do something like that in Minneapolis?
Practically speaking, yes. The question again is where do the funds come from? Recognizing that in the last budget address, I also painted a pretty severe picture of what the budget looked like. And so again, there's not free money. I'll do one more.
Could the assistant chief speak to the police morale right now? There's been questions raised by certain media outlets about how their morale is. I'm just wondering if you could speak to that.
Yeah, let's get the assistant chief up here, but let me first start off. So the question was about police morale. The work that our officers have done over these last couple of months has been incredible. We have about 600 police officers in total. There were instances where really dangerous circumstances were taking place, and we maybe only had 30 officers on duty at those moments. Officers have canceled days off, they have missed birthdays, they have stepped up, and people are seeing the deep juxtaposition between the way a Minneapolis police officer will treat a constituent, a neighbor, and the way these federal agents were treating their neighbors. And it's not as if the Minneapolis Police Department has always been known for community trust. But there's a lot of work that's happened over these last 5 years. There's training that has taken place. Policies have been shifted. Officers have both stayed and are applying because they want to make the difference. And I can tell you, I have heard from some of the deepest critics that Minneapolis police is actually wanted on scene when something is going down. Why? Because we've got policies in place that ensure accountability. And I'll note, we've also been making sure to have those body cameras used so that footage is collected, that evidence has been garnered, and then that evidence could be used in ensuring justice and accountability. And I say that as broadly as possible. And so that is specific direction that has been given, and they've stepped up in a great way. The chief can speak to the morale, but I want to say directly to those police officers, we are grateful.
Yeah, that's a great question. As far as our morale in our police department, like any organization, you always have concern about the morale of your employees. However, I will say, again, our officers have been resilient along with our community members. And as far as our wellness piece, we offer wellness. We have it as a high priority. The chief has put many resources into making certain, along with the mayor and the cabinet, all the way down through, that the officers have the resources that they need. And we're making it more robust as we go. However, when it comes to our morale in our police department, that is something that we evaluate, and it's continuous. We look at it and we make certain that we're giving them the resources, and we'll continue to evaluate it. Right now, we want to make certain that our officers are taken care of and they're healthy, so they can serve and come back and serve our community members. And like I said, it's a great question. That's something that we'll continue to answer for you as we know more. But our officers are, like I said, very proud of them, very, very proud of them. And they seem, as I call it, Minneapolis strong. As a community members are coming up and they're hugging them out at scenes. During protests, they're coming and hugging our officers. And that's something that we didn't see a few years back. And through the hard work and commitment through the mayor, through the commissioner, through Police Chief Brian O'Hara, the deposits that we made are paying off to us, and that helps morale when you're getting hugs from your community members that you're serving.